Inter Miami Soccer on ESPN 106.3.
Gol de Messi!
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3.
Messi in the box. Shoots!
This is the Inter Miami pregame show, live from the ESPN West Palm Studios. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Well, we are live at New Stadium on your Inter Miami radio network. Folks, it's the Florida Derby. It's the Florida Derby. We got the Purple People Eaters in town, not the Lions of Orlando, ready to rock and roll. Our Inter Miami Herons are looking for their first win at New Stadium. This is game number 4. We've played 3, and we've gotten 3 draws from our Herons. But Lionel Messi and our Herons look to get the first win in front of the home fans. But once again, the Florida Derby is here. Now, no Antoine Griezmann. He'll be joining Orlando later on this summer. We'll get more into that on your pregame show on your Inter Miami radio network. But Florida Derby, we're ready to roll. Now, welcome on in, and the family's back together. We got myself, Mike Rizzo, voice of the Inter Miami Herons. We got Gary Ibar, our on-site producer. Paul Adams, our frequency coordinator, and Santi Rodriguez as well. We're ready to rock and ready to get things going. I mentioned, man, I know Inter Miami, they are very excited for this one tonight. They feel like that this is the one for the home fans. Now, let's explain what's going on with Orlando because, folks, this isn't the average Orlando team. Usually Orlando is top 6, 7, darn near top 5 on that Eastern Conference tables. They're a couple points away from the cellar. They're 14th on that Eastern Conference table. I mentioned Antoine Griezmann is going to be joining the club in July. He's one of the better number 10s in world football. He's a World Cup champion. He could shoot, he could pass, he could do a little bit of everything, but he's not coming till July, and I think they're counting the days until the end of the World Cup, and Griezmann is in purple with the Purple People Eaters. But they are 5 points from the absolute cellar, and they are 14th in the East. They have 7 points on the year, 2 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw. This is one of the worst starts in the history of Orlando since coming up to the MLS, and the 4th worst record in the MLS. So to go through the teams that are, duking it out on the bottom half of the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference table. On the Eastern side, you got Orlando sitting there with 7. You got Philly in 5. How about this? Philadelphia, who won the Supporters' Shield last year, the best record in the MLS. They have the worst record in the MLS this year. They don't have Ty Baribo anymore. He's over at DC United. But Philadelphia, believe it or not, they're having more of a stinker right now than the Lions and Orlando. So Orlando with 7 points, St. Louis with 6, Kansas City with 5, and Philadelphia with 5. Orlando has let up the most goals out of any team in the MLS. And Maxime Crepeau is currently battling with our goalkeeper, Dane St. Clair, to be the starter for Team Canada. I don't know if Gary's got some binoculars for me. I got to look and see if Jesse Marsh, head gaffer of Canada, is here. His 2 goalkeepers tonight duking it out in the MLS game of the week. But I certainly would think tonight will have some implications on maybe where Jesse Marsh will be leading for that Canadian goal spot. Keep in mind, this is a North American World Cup. You got games in Canada, you got games in the U.S., and you got games in Mexico. But, folks, once again, this is your Inter Miami Radio Network. I'm Mike Rizzo, voice of the Herons. We have a 7:15 kickoff here tonight at New Stadium. They're about to be rolling out the banners. We're going to have the national anthem in just a moment. But before we take a timeout, our first timeout of our pregame show that is powered by your local South Florida Audi dealer, I do want to get you the starting lineups because Lionel Messi is playing, and Inter Miami is getting some of the cavalry back. There was no Yannick Bright and Telasco Segovia in last week's game. Telasco Segovia was out due to card accumulation, and then Yannick Bright was out for a suspension, and basically a disciplinary suspension for words that he said to referee John Freeman back from the Colorado game when they played at Mile High. Matteo Silvetti is still injured, so the 3 guys that are out for our Herons tonight, Matteo Silvetti, David Aishala, and Sergio Regulon. But Inter Miami pretty full strength outside of that. The Herons and Guillermo Hoyos, the interim head coach, they're going to go with a 4-3-3 tonight. And the lineup reads from left to right, starting from the back and working our way to the top. Noah Allen, Maxi Falcone, Mikael, and Ian Frey. Nothing new on that back line. Obviously, Regulon would be the starter at that left back position if he were healthy. But Noah Allen, who just broke the club record for most appearances for Inter Miami, is holding that down at the left back spot. So those are your 4 defenders. And then Dane St. Clair, as I've mentioned, one of the Canadians in net tonight. Yannick Bright, Rodrigo DePaul, and Telasco Segovia are your 3 midfielders. Nothing necessarily new there. And then the 3 attackers up top. Herman Berterame, Lionel Messi, and leading the charge at striker is going to be Luis Suarez. So Lionel Messi playing an inverted winger tonight. He'll be coming from the right side with that inverted left foot. And Herman Berterame, who usually is a striker, but he's been fitting in quite well off that left side. We've seen him crash into the box more often than not. But technically, Berterame playing a left wing tonight. As far as Orlando, they got a 4-4-2. For years, Orlando ran a 4-4-2 with Luis Muriel and Martin Ojeda with a dual strike partnership. But Muriel no longer with the team. He is back in South America playing his football. But the 4-4-2 for Orlando will read out like this from the defense, working our way up top. From left to right, you got Adrian Marin, Robin Janssen, Iago, and Griffin Dorsey. Obviously, Robin Janssen, the long-tenured center back for Orlando. You got a couple of the staples still in this lineup with Janssen and Ojeda, but that is the back line tonight. Marin, Janssen, Iago, and Dorsey. Into the midfield, you got Thiago Carvajalo, Luis Otavio, Brian Ojeda, not to get things confused with Martin Ojeda, but you got the Ojedas on the field tonight. No relation. But Ojeda, Brian Ojeda, the midfielder, and Ivan Angulo. And then the dual strike partnership up top. We've been so used to Luis Muriel and Martin Ojeda. It's going to be Martin Ojeda and Justin Ellis, the young 18-year-old American, getting the start tonight for Orlando. The Florida Derby, folks, on your Inter Miami Radio Network. Mike Rizzo live at New Stadium. Once again, Gary Eimar, my on-site producer, Paul Adams, our frequency coordinator, and my guy, Kate Chumsland, back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach, keeping us up over the air. He'll have our highlights coming up at halftime and all of that great stuff. Let's take our first time out of the pregame show. When we return, we'll continue to break down the matchup. But, folks, I've been mentioning the pregame show. It's brought to you by our local South Florida Audi dealer. We all know the feeling, a change of plans, an unexpected curve, and a new opportunity. Instead of overthinking it, what if you just said yes? And you can do that with the all-new Audi Q3. The Q3 is made for the S-Life. With the power and room to handle whatever pops up, say yes to adventure, escape, and right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, folks, that's what we call real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3 made for the S-Life. Learn more at AudiUSA.com. Folks, Audi is the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF. Once again, folks, Audi, the official premium and electric car vehicle of IMCF. More of your pregame show on your Inter Miami Radio Network coming up next.
Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients and South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
If you love soccer, let Tri-Rail be your connection to Inter Miami CF games at Miami Freedom Park. Take the train to skip traffic and parking. Just an easy ride to the match. And the stadium is just steps away from Tri-Rail's Miami Airport Station. Plus, return service makes getting home simple after the final whistle. Weekend round-trip fares are just $5. Plan your ride at tri-rail.com, TRI-rail.com.
Being a homeowner like me means knowing who to call. For power, you called an electrician. Pipes, a plumber. And for better water, you call Culligan. They've been improving water for 90 years, with local experts handling everything from water softening to filtration, using the world's most efficient systems. Culligan, the one partner you can trust for everything your water touches. Schedule your free water test today at Culligan.com, serving all of South Florida.
Hey, Culligan man!
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Brent Lessie, partner and tax leader of Anshin's Consumer Products Group.
Did you know the One Big Beautiful Bill Act has created unprecedented opportunities for founders? The $10 million exclusion has increased to $15 million, and the 5-year holding period is no longer an all-or-nothing hurdle. Founders now have the flexibility to raise capital and align their tax-free treatment over 3, 4, or 5 years. These changes include the higher asset ceiling and allow founders and investors to scale aggressively while capitalizing on this tax advantage. Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, prioritizes understanding founders' unique circumstances to achieve their goals. If you're a founder that doesn't want to leave money on the table, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Whether you need batteries, tires, or services, we know you depend on your vehicle. You can depend on St. Lucie Battery and Tire with the largest inventories, expert technicians, and the best price out the door every day guaranteed. You'll drive away with confidence. Life doesn't stop, and neither should your car. St. Lucie Battery and Tire is here for you. Our experts keep your vehicle ready with batteries, tires, and service you can trust. Fast, friendly, and always reliable.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Gol de Messi!
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Now let's get to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
We got a 7:15 start time here at New Stadium, and welcome on back to your Inter Miami Radio Network. We have the Florida Derby just moments away. Speaking of that Florida Derby, Lionel Messi, who leads our Herons, has scored 8 goals in 5 career matchups against Orlando. He has braces, meaning 2 goals, in 4 of those matchups. So Lionel Messi likes to have good games against Orlando. Now, Lionel Messi certainly hasn't played bad by any means. He's had solid match ratings and has been involved in the attack, and as I like to call it, the hockey assists. But Messi has not had a goal or an assist in the last 2 fixtures. So Lionel Messi will look to get on the score sheet tonight, and it's the perfect matchup for him because, as I've mentioned, 8 goals in 5 career matchups against Orlando. Inter Miami has drawn all 3 matches here at New Stadium, dating all the way back to Austin, New York Red Bull, and last week. So we're still looking for our first victory at the New Stadium. Inter Miami also unbeaten in their last 11 games. That's counting all competitions. It's 9 straight within the MLS. And then remember those 2 games in CONCACAF Champions Cup where they drew Nashville. Now, I think the rules are rubbish in CONCACAF Champions Cup. I think the away goals are arguably the biggest waste of time in soccer on this side of the hemisphere. But let's hope that will change in the near future. But Inter Miami unbeaten in their last 11. Truly an incredible streak for our Herons. As far as Orlando, I mentioned they have conceded the most goals so far this season within the MLS. They have allowed a league-high 29 goals go across Maxime Crépeau's posts. Now, I think Crépeau is a fine goalkeeper. Keep in mind, Crépeau was on that LAFC team that went deep in Champions Cup all those years ago. But certainly, I think the other players on Orlando letting them down. Now, Robin Janssen and Martin Ojeda, these are household names with Orlando, but a lot of new in the Orlando lineup as well. Orlando have won just 3 of 7 MLS visits to Miami, obviously a lot of those being at Chase Stadium. And this will be the first game our noisy neighbors up in Orlando will have down at the brand new stadium. And then finally, Orlando has scored 11 goals in their last 5 matches, despite sitting 14th in the Eastern Conference. So they've been able to score goals. The issue is they can't stop goals from going across their line. Now, as far as goal differential in the MLS, they have the second worst goal differential in the league. -17. The only team who has a worse goal differential is Sporting Kansas City. So even though they're scoring goals, I mentioned they're still letting goals go past, but wow. I mean, they scored 11 goals in 5 games, and they still have the second worst goal differential this season. There's a lot of new. Obviously, Antoine Griezmann will be joining the fray for Orlando coming up this summer. But, folks, I'm gonna keep it a buck, as I always do. Now, I am an Inter Miami homer. That is no secret on your Inter Miami radio network. But I truly think this is going to be a big game for our Herons tonight. It's one of those things where Orlando is really reeling at this point. 4th worst record within the MLS. Or they have 7 points comparatively to St. Louis's 6, Kansas City's 5, Philadelphia 5. They're 2 points separated from being at the absolute cellar of the MLS. Griezmann, as I've mentioned, isn't joining until July. Have lost last 2 games versus Inter Miami, and they have conceded a league-high number of goals. This is the get right game for Inter Miami. Not meaning that they need to get right, folks. Once again, 11 unbeaten for our Herons. But when you are Inter Miami, when you are the biggest team, one of the biggest teams in the world, and the biggest team on this side of the hemisphere, when you draw 3 straight games at New Stadium, people are going to start asking questions. Not me. I'm not worried tonight, and I think Inter Miami is going to get that victory here on our Inter Miami radio network coming up tonight. But no goals for Lionel Messi the last 2 games. I expect that to change. Now, Matteo Silvetti will not be playing. I think Silvetti is crucial for what Inter Miami wants to do this season. He is still dealing with a hamstring injury. I also said David Aishala and Sergio Reguilon. The only player injured for Orlando on their injury report is Johan Gerbit. He's dealing with a ligament problem, and he will be unavailable tonight when it comes to the pitch here at New Bank Stadium. But it's been let's put it this way, folks. It's been a busy day in Miami. You had the Formula One races earlier today. We got our Inter Miami Herons in action tonight. I actually talked to a couple of fans that were out in the fan zone who said that they did both. They were at Formula One, and then they came down here to New Stadium. And truly a good time to be a Miami sports fan down here with Inter Miami doing their thing, in my opinion, being the best team on this side of the hemisphere, and all the bustling stuff that is going on around Miami. Now the players about to walk out onto the pitch. Let's get you your starting lineups again. Lionel Messi is in the lineup. I feel like, that used to be like, hey, you got to be, is Messi playing? That was always the big question. That's not even a question anymore. If Leo is healthy, he is playing, and he is in the lineup. But a 4-3-3 for Inter Miami: Noah Allen, Maxi Falcone, Mikael, Ian Frey. That's the back line. Dane St. Clair is the goalkeeper. And then the midfield, you got the 3 midfielders. Yannick from left to right. You got Yannick Bright, Rodrigo De Paul, and Talasco Segovia. The 3 attackers: Herman Berterame, Luis Suarez, and Lionel Messi. I definitely could see Lionel Messi veering inward. I call it an inverted winger. With that left foot, he's going to put shots on target. He's going to play in Berterame on the back stick, and he's going to play in Luis Suarez, who's going to be, in my opinion, a poacher kind of striker tonight, as he's always been for our Inter Miami Herons. As far as Orlando City, a 4-4-2, Dorsey, Iago, Janssen, and Marin. The goalkeeper, Maxime Crépeau, the Battle of Canada tonight. Crépeau and St. Clair, the 2 goalkeepers for Canada, one of them will ultimately be the starter. Angulo, Ojeda, Otavio, and Carvajalo. and then Ojeda and Ellis up top. Not to get it confused, 2 Ojedas in the lineup. Brian Ojeda in the midfield and Martin Ojeda in at the attack. Let's actually take a timeout, folks. National anthem underway. Inter Miami Radio Network, the Florida Derby coming up next.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
If you love soccer, let Tri-Rail be your connection to Inter Miami CF games at Miami Freedom Park. Take the train to skip traffic and parking. Just an easy ride to the match. And the stadium is just steps away from Tri-Rail's Miami Airport Station. Plus, return service makes getting home simple after the final whistle. Weekend round-trip fares are just $5. Plan your ride at tri-rail.com, tri-rail.com.
Come on out to Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium for Star Wars Night on Saturday, May 9th at 6 p.m. Enjoy minor league baseball action between the Jupiter Hammerheads and the Palm Beach Cardinals in a galaxy not far, far away. Come take pictures with your favorite characters, and special Star Wars jerseys will be up for auction right after the game. It's also a Code Ninjas Kids Club Saturday. Visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com to purchase your Star Wars Night tickets today.
May the Force be with you.
If you love soccer, let Tri-Rail be your connection to Inter Miami CF games at Miami Freedom Park. Take the train to skip traffic and parking. Just an easy ride to the match. And the stadium is just steps away from Tri-Rail's Miami Airport Station. Plus, return service makes getting home simple after the final whistle. Weekend round-trip fares are just $5. Plan your ride at tri-rail.com, tri-rail.com.
Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Moments away from getting things kicked off. Terry Crews here at New Stadium with all of us fellow Inter Miami fans. He actually helped accept the captain badges before the game, and we're just moments away from getting things going. Inter Miami will wear their all-pink jerseys. Inter Miami will wear their all-pink jerseys as they do. And then Orlando will have their all-purple and white trim jerseys. Once again, your starting lineup for Inter Miami: Noah Allen, Maxi Falcone, Mikael, and Ian Frey. Yannick Bright, Rodrigo DePaul, Telasco Segovia, Herman Berterame, Luis Suarez, and the great one, Lionel Messi. As for Orlando, the Purple People leaders, Griffin Dorsey, Iago, Robin Janssen, Adrian Marin. The midfield, Ivan Angulo, Brian Ojeda, Luis Otavio, Tiago Carvajalo, and then Martin Ojeda and Justin Ellis. Orlando not having the season they've wanted yet. 5 points on that table. 4th worst record in the MLS. And Inter Miami well underway for another attack at the MLS Cup. And we are underway here in South Florida at New Stadium. Immediately, Orlando has it in a dangerous spot, but it's intercepted by Ian Frey. Frey streaking down the near side touchline, looking for Herman Berterame. But Robin Janssen able to handle it. And Janssen, we know him well. One of the better center backs in the history of Orlando City. He has the ball right outside of the penalty arc and the box. Inter Miami will lay on a press. Here comes Herman Berterame. Hey, good job intercepting it there. That was Rodrigo DePaul. But Janssen recovers in his box. A 50-50 ball, and here is Maxi Falcone. He'll play it back to Dane St. Clair. I mentioned Battle of Canada between the sticks tonight. Dane St. Clair and Maxime Crampo, 2 Canadians who would like to start for Jesse Marsh in Canada for the World Cup in under 50 days. A bad turnover by Inter Miami, but a good stop there by Yannick Bright. Mikael now has it in Inter Miami territory. Here is Noah Allen. He'll centralize it to Yannick Bright. Falcone has it now. He'll play near side touchline Ian Frey. Frey streaking to midfield. He'll reverse his field to Rodrigo DePaul. DePaul now inching closer to midfield. He'll do a big switch to Yannick Bright, far side touchline. Bright on that far side touchline. He'll find Segovia. 2-man 2 ball, him and Segovia. Inter Miami second on that Eastern Conference table. Orlando 14th. Frey near side touchline battling with Tiago Carvajalo. He'll retreat back to the defense, and Inter Miami will recycle to the center backs. Here is Mikael. He gets it into Orlando territory. Luis Suarez. Suarez with space. He lays it up to Messi. Messi looking for Noah Allen on the back stick, but that one was smartly read by Griffin Dorsey. Inter Miami, though, back on it in Orlando territory. Telasco Segovia, far side touchline. Now Yannick Bright. Falcone, big switch to DePaul. DePaul with space. Near side touchline, here's Ian Frey. Guarded by Angulo. Frey finds Luis Suarez. Suarez with space. Nifty pass. Luis still on it. He's barreling into the box. Suarez to Messi. Messi shot blocked. Good job there. That was Iago getting a big boot on it, and that'll be the first corner kick of the night, presented by Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath, represented injured people and their families for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. Lionel Messi will be taking the left side corner. Going up short for it is Telasco Segovia. He'll play it short to Segovia. Right back to Messi. Messi, far side touchline, closing into the box. Leo will lay it back to Segovia. Segovia cross in, back stick, Suarez, pass in, nobody home. But Messi able to recover on the far side touchline. Here is Segovia. Segovia will cut in. Another pass, header, goal! Goal! What a pass and what a header! Inter Miami in! Beautiful build-up play. Orlando has conceded the most goals in the MLS, and within the first 5 minutes, they have conceded in Miami. Goal, 1-0, our Herons. It was a beautiful pass, and getting ahead on it was Ian Frey. A back stick header. Ian Frey opens up the scoring. 1-0 at Newbank Stadium. The defensive struggles continue for the Lions. But it was a heck of a pass and a heck of a header. Ian Frey finds the back of the net. We're waiting to get things back and fired away here at New Bank Stadium. A couple of conversations with midfielders onto the Orlando side. That's Luis Otavio and Brian Ojeda having some words. But play is resumed, and Robin Janssen going immediately deep. Looking for it was Martin Ojeda. But Dane St. Clair will recover within his own box. Near side touchline, Ian Frey, the most recent goal scorer, now to Maxi Falcone. Falcone will recycle back to Dane St. Clair. But this is truly, it's an uncharacteristic start for Orlando to start the season. And in a Florida Derby, to be down 1-0 before the 5-minute mark, very surprising. And folks, welcome into the 5-minute mark. It is 1-0, our Inter Miami Herons. We have an Ian Frey header goal. It was assisted by Telasco Segovia. That's his 6th assist of the season. So Segovia, who cut in 2 different times on that goal-scoring possession. He went back stick the first time. He found Suarez. Suarez tried crossing it back in and ended up with Messi. Messi made a pass to Segovia, and then Segovia found Frey back stick. Inter Miami pressing Orlando right on that far side touchline, and now a foul. I should mention the head referee tonight is Guido Gonzalez. He does referee a lot of Inter Miami games. I would say John Freeman and Guido Gonzalez, usually the referees that we see down here in Florida and or when Inter Miami is on the road. Play immediately resumed. Robin Janssen with it. Janssen, bad turnover. Here is Segovia. In Inter Miami territory is DePaul. DePaul cuts in, was looking for Messi, and that's where it breaks down. Orlando now struggling to get out. Brian Ojeda gives a pass to Griffin Robinson. Back to Ojeda, intercepted. Inter Miami on it. Or rather a throw-in now, like a quick throw-in taken. Messi immediately gets it to DePaul. DePaul back to Bright. Here's Maxi Falcone. All of the Inter Miami defense up with the attack. Near side touchline, Ian Frey. Frey will play it back to Falcone. 7 minutes. 7 minutes have been played in the first half. 1-0 Inter Miami over Orlando on an Ian Frey goal. Near side touchline pass, Messi. This is back to Segovia. Segovia in the box to Suarez. Back to Bertarame, and he sailed it right. A big opportunity for Bertie. It was a good link-up play between Suarez, Noah Allen, and Bertarame. But Bertie sailed that right. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Orlando. Herman Bertarame, who has scored in 3 games out of the last 4, was looking for a big-time goal there, and he just sailed it right. It'll be a goal kick for Maxime Crepeau. And I'm at your mercy. Yeah, excuse me, I am right. 3 goals in 4 games. I forgot. I thought he scored against Salt Lake, but he ended up missing that goal in front of net. But Orlando has a dangerous spot. Here's Griffin Dorsey. He's right outside of the box. It's the best spell of possession Orlando has had. In the box, here is Orlando, but it is smartly read by Inter Miami, and Bertarame on it deep in Orlando territory. Now he'll go near side touchline to Frey. Here's Messi, right by midfield. Messi cuts in. He gets it to DePaul. DePaul, nifty stop, gets it to Segovia. In Orlando territory are our Herons. Far side touchline. Suarez crossing it in. Back stick, looking for Frey again. Smartly read by the Orlando defense. Frey gets called on a foul on the near side touchline. Thiago Carvajalo was the man he threw to the ground, and it'll be a free kick, no card, but Guido Gonzalez blowing his whistle, and it'll be an Orlando free kick. Rolling the free kick in front of him and taking this is Luis Otavio. Or excuse me, at your mercy, Adrian Marin, the left back. Marin with a big left boot. He'll kick it into Inter Miami territory. That one is headed and won by Yannick Bright. Now to DePaul, and a big switch to Noah Allen. Allen already in Orlando territory. He'll give it to Segovia, the leading assist man with 6 on the club and 1 tonight. Nifty pass to Messi. Leo on it! And a big-time defensive effort by Griffin Dorsey right outside of the box. So Segovia with a nifty pass to Messi. Messi was barreling towards the box. He almost ended up one-on-one with Crapo, but Griffin Dorsey able to boot it away. But Inter Miami back on it as we are far side touchline. Noah Allen. Now Mikael. This is Rodrigo DePaul. Bertarame now near side touchline. Ian Frey. In Orlando territory is Frey. He gets it to DePaul. Now here's Bertarame. Ball is centralized with DePaul, who has space. Inching to the penalty arc. Still on the run. Looking for Messi. And Crapo ends up with it in his hands. That was a good run by DePaul. He was looking for Messi. The final pass just wasn't there. Crapo will play it out of his box. Near side touchline, Angulo. Angulo will cut in. This is Luis Otavio. Otavio looking for a big hit with Ojeda. But Dane St. Clair came off of his line and grasps the ball. Inter Miami will go quick with St. Clair. A roller to Yannick Bright. Bright will do a big switch. Can Suarez get there? It was a big switch to Suarez, who did his best Terrell Owens impression. Jamar Chase caught the ball in bounds. That'll be a handball and a free kick for Orlando. Oh, man, only Luis. He got 2 feet in. Come on. You know, my on-site producer, Gary Einbar, and Paul Adams, our frequency coordinator, he did get 2 feet in on that catch. But play resumed, and shocker, Inter Miami wins it. And they'll play it back to Dane St. Clair. Inter Miami's been on the ball all night. 70% possession for our Herons against Orlando. DePaul pass to Bertarame, near side touchline. A tackle, and now we have a foul. Head referee Guido Gonzalez blowing his whistle. On the ground is Adrian Marin, and that is going to go against Rodrigo DePaul. No card in the 11th minute, but folks, welcome to the 11th minute, 1-0, Inter Miami over Orlando. Appreciate everybody listening on Sirius XM, on our YouTube page at ESPN West Palm FC, and on that radio dial, ESPN 106.3. Keep in mind, too, you can download the ESPN South Florida app and listen to ESPN 106.3 wherever you are in the country and Inter Miami football. But pass and possession played. It was a troubling pass to Janssen. Tracking him was Birdie. Now on the ball is DePaul. Here's Messi, near side touchline, veering towards the box. Now to Bertarame. Bertarame with a pass to Leo, and that's where it breaks down. Segovia, though, wins it after Orlando tries clearing. And Mikael will get it to Falcone right at midfield circle. Near side touchline, here's Ian Frey. Frey will retreat back to his defense. 12.5 minutes played in the first half. Inter Miami up 1-0. This is your Inter Miami Radio Network. Suarez to Messi. Back to Suarez. Nifty pass. Here's Ian Frey. Cross it. Suarez header. And it'll be a whisker left. Good pass by Ian Frey. Rather good cross into the box. Good service into the box. But Suarez got it all wrong on the header. Could have been the second header goal of the night. Velasco Segovia and Ian Frey linked up on the first goal on the back stick. And Suarez there was staring a goal in the face in the box right between Crapo and Robin Janssen. Speaking of Janssen, play resumed and he has it near side touchline. Janssen playing 3-man 3-ball with Angulo and Marin, and Ojeda now has it. Good big switch pass. Here's Griffin Dorsey. Dangerous spot. Dorsey right outside of Inter Miami's box. Now he's in the box. Dorsey, nifty move. Pass in. Intercepted by Mikael. Mikael still in Inter Miami's box. He'll play out a dangerous ball to Noah Allen. Allen will try to get it upfield to Segovia. And Segovia with a big tackle. That was Brian Ojeda, the midfielder. He goes to ground, and we have a foul. Guido Gonzalez blowing his whistle. Play resumed. Standing over it is Ivan Angulo. Now Brian Ojeda, he'll retreat back to Robin Janssen. Janssen looking for a big through ball to nobody. That one goes out of bounds on the near side touchline. Orlando is in shambles. Orlando can't put passes together at the moment, folks. Griffin Dorsey had a good run into the Inter Miami box, but it was smartly played and read by Mikael. Inter Miami will have a throw in near side touchline. Ian Frey gets it to DePaul. DePaul will do a big switch to Noah Allen. Allen will retreat it right outside of Inter Miami's box on the far side touchline. He has plenty of space, and he's going to use it to get to midfield. Frey actually barking his orders right before midfield, and now Inter Miami will retreat back to their box and their center backs. Here is Mikael. Near side touchline, Maxi Falcone. Falcone to Ian Frey. Frey racing down the near side touchline, veering in towards the box. Frey splitting defenders. Finally, the ball is won. That was Thiago Carvajalo. Inter Miami still pressing. Falcone up with the attack. Angulo tries to boot it away. Foul on the Angulo boot. Angulo tried getting it to midfield, and Justin Ellis and Mikael called for the foul. Both of the guys jumped up for the ball, and Mikael ultimately had too much physicality for the young Justin Ellis. Once again, Justin Ellis and Martin Ojeda, they have a dual strike partnership up top in the 4-4-2 for Orlando. Play resumed. Here is Angulo near side touchline. Angulo in Inter Miami territory trying to get something going. Good pass to Otavio. Otavio now back to Brian Ojeda. Brian Ojeda cutting in towards the box. Far side touchline right outside of the box is Ojeda. They'll centralize it to Angulo. Angulo will cut in towards the penalty arc. Martin Ojeda with space. Ojeda takes out a shot, and it's just over the crossbar. That was closer than I anticipated. Martin Ojeda, who last year was a part of 39 goals and assists. He had 39 goals and assists combined. He's had a slow start this year, but man, he almost got that one on target. Nifty left footer, and it goes over the crossbar. Dane St. Clair now has it on his feet. St. Clair playing it with his feet to Maxi Falcone. Here is Mikael. 17th minute. Welcome to the 17th minute. Inter Miami up 1-0. New Bank Stadium. Inter Miami looking for the first win in front of their home fans. Luis Suarez tried playing Herman Berterame on the far side touchline. Broken down. Robin Janssen on it. Janssen right at the midfield circle, and a turnover. Leo's on it. Leo running at a bad tackle. Is that a red card? No, it's a yellow. That looked clear. Was he in on goal? They called that a yellow card. He was in on goal. Regardless, Lionel Messi taken down by Robin Janssen. Head referee Guido Gonzalez shows yellow. Unbelievable. He was in on goal. Rodrigo de Paul arguing. In the 17th minute, Messi taking the ground. It'll be a free kick right outside of the penalty circle, outside of the box. But golly, folks, I thought that could be a red card. Leo was in. But Messi is standing over a free kick in prime Messi territory. Maxime Crepeau barking his orders to his wall. Folks, it is as center as it can get. A dead-on opportunity for Lionel Messi. 3.5, 4 yards right outside of the circle, outside of the box. Prime Messi territory in what is now the 18th and a half minute. Messi has not scored in his last 2 games. Leo, who has 8 goals in 5 matches against Orlando with braces in 4, standing over a free kick opportunity, and now Guido Gonzalez has an issue with the wall. Now the whistle. Messi standing over it, thinking about it. Approaches, shot, saved, rebound, Suarez blocked, still out in his face. Suarez now back stick, looking for Berterame. The ball has it, shot blocked! Wow, what a sequence! The ball ended up on Rodrigo de Paul's foot. He tried to go upper 90 finesse right where the penalty was. And a diving save, Maxime Crepeau. Don't know where Jesse Marsh is, the head gaffer for Team Canada, but that was a heck of a save by the Canadian, Maxime Crepeau. Unbelievable that DePaul isn't in, but it's a corner kick presented by Letter Rider Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Visit foryourrights.com. Messi crosses it in for a goal for an Olympico, and I believe that went off of an Orlando defender. We're going to do it again. And now on the ground is Maxime Crepeau in the 20th minute. What a crazy sequence of events. Lionel Messi took on a direct free kick, saved by Crepeau, and then Suarez ends up with it on the back stick. He crossed it in. That ball got deflected away. It ended up on DePaul's right boot. DePaul tried to finesse it outside of the box, upper 90 to the right side. And it was a heck of a save by Maxime Crepeau. And as I mentioned, folks, Crepeau down. The physios are out there looking at him. The backup goalkeeper is Javier Otero. Otero on the season. He has appeared in one match so far. And Crepeau still being looked by the physios, but it will be an Inter Miami corner. I want to remind everybody, Inter Miami corners are presented by Letter Rider Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. But once again, if you're just joining us, this is our Inter Miami radio network. I am Mike Rizzo, voice of the Herons. My on-site producer, Gary Ibar. Our frequency coordinator, Paul Adams. Santi Rodriguez handling things for us as well on site. And back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach is our guy, Kate Chums. Got the family and the band back together here at New Bank Stadium. Our fourth home game. Inter Miami has drawn the first three home games, but they have a 1-0 lead in the 21st minute. Maxime Crepeau trying to shake off an apparent injury that he suffered on an Inter Miami corner. It was an Olympico attempt. For those of you who don't know what an Olympico is, it's when a player tries to go for goal from the corner kick. And Lionel Messi did exactly that, and Maxime Crepeau immediately fell on his bum. So we'll have to wait and see if he's going to be okay. I think he is going to give it a go. The physios are off the field, and now we resume play. So Crepeau going to continue. Messi cross in, almost a goal off of a cross. Messi almost caught Maxime Crepeau sleeping. I want to call it a cross, but it looked like a shot. And I think we're going to have another corner kick presented by Letter Rider Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Taking this left-sided corner is the right-footed Segovia. Segovia plays it short to DePaul. DePaul right back to Telasco. Telasco cuts into the box, veers in, past to Messi, and it breaks down there. Orlando tries to clear it, but DePaul has it right at the midfield circle. DePaul, near side touchline, Yannick Bright. Bright will play it to Ian Frey. Frey in the box, near side touchline. Nifty tackle there by Adrian Marin. Marin still guarding Frey, near side touchline. He'll retreat to DePaul. DePaul will cut in. Now he comes in a near side touchline. DePaul tries to find Frey, and it breaks down. On the ball is Brian Ojeda. Ojeda looking for Justin Ellis, and it's a good job by Dane St. Clair to come off of his line and clear it. Welcome to the 23rd minute, 1-0 Inter Miami on top of Orlando. Ian Frey, the goal scorer, the assister, Telasco Segovia. Segovia leads Inter Miami with 6 assists on the season. Orlando on it, near side touchline, here's Angulo. Angulo, two-man two-ball with him and Martin Ojeda. Now Brian Ojeda goes to the ground, and head referee Guido Gonzalez will blow his whistle. It'll be a free kick in the 24th minute. But once again, Maxime Crepeau got looked at by physios. He decided to continue as we have a turnover immediately. Messi with space, deep in Orlando territory. Leo veers in, plays it to Suarez. Suarez in the box. Suarez to Messi. Messi shot pass, goal! goal. Telesco Segovia, or actually, should we hold the party? Let's hold the party. Did Guido Gonzalez blow his whistle? DePaul and Gonzalez have a discussion. I believe this will stand, but very weird by Gonzalez and DePaul to have an exchange, but it's going to be a goal. It was a nifty setup pass by Lionel Messi, and Telesco Segovia is having a game, folks. It's 2-0. Inter Miami on top of Orlando. Still trying to figure out what the issue with Gonzalez and DePaul was, but the goal will stand, and more conversations are happening with him and Ojeda. Dampened my party a bit, but it is going to be 2-0 in the 25th minute. Inter Miami dominating Orlando at this moment. Orlando hot and heavy off of the kickoff. This is Ian Frey on it. Now Rodrigo DePaul, Inter Miami intercepting Orlando, and we're on the run. Far side touchline. Here's Noah Allen. Played to Luis Suarez. But once again, 2-0, Telesco Segovia, the goal scorer in the 25th. He has a goal and an assist in the game. Ian Frey tried to cross it in. That one intercepted by Orlando, but Inter Miami's on it. Folks, this looks like a game that Inter Miami could possibly win 4 or 5-0 at the moment. Orlando has nothing going forward. Unless there is a lapse of judgment by our Herons, I could see this one getting ugly here in the Florida Derby at New Bank Stadium. You could argue it already is. In the 26th minute, 2-0. Segovia on a goal and an assist. And Ian Frey, the first goal scorer in the 4th minute. But Falcone on it. Near side touchline, Ian Frey. Here is Mikael. On that far side touchline. He'll get it to Segovia. I should mention, too, that goal was assisted by Lionel Messi. So the streak of Messi not having a goal or an assist in the last 2 matchups is gone. Messi, nifty moves near side touchline. And I mean, my goodness, that's Luis Otavio. That's got to be a card, sir. That's got to be a card. Messi put the moves on Luis Otavio, a foul, but head referee Guido Gonzalez apparently didn't see enough to give a card. Keep in mind earlier, Robin Janssen took down Lionel Messi right outside of the box, and he only showed a yellow. It looked like a clear goal-scoring opportunity. It could have been a red card, but ultimately only a yellow shown. So 1 yellow card in the game, and it's only to Robin Janssen at this juncture. Welcome to the 28th minute. Inter Miami up 2-0. Lionel Messi passes to Paul. Back to Messi, near side touchline. Leo cuts in, finds Bright. Bright to Falcone. Now here's Dane St. Clair. Welcome to the 28th minute. Inter Miami up 2-0 on Orlando. Goals coming quick and fast for our Herons. Far side touchline, Segovia. Here is Suarez in Orlando territory. Yannick Bright. Now DePaul. DePaul gets it to the near side touchline and Messi. Messi to Ian Frey. Back to Messi. Leo, pass in. Suarez, is he on sides? Suarez tried lifting it to himself and chesting it down. Robin Janssen wins it. Here is Martin Ojeda. Martin Ojeda gives it to Brian Ojeda. Segovia tracking. Segovia knocked off the ball by Ojeda. Orlando still on it. Near side, far side touchline. Now a big switch pass. This is going to Angulo. Angulo. Near side touchline pass. This is to Marin. Marin Angulo, 2-man 2-ball. Angulo, ball into the box, looking for Justin Ellis. And a deflection by Mikael. Can Inter Miami counter? Here is Segovia. He gets it to Suarez. Suarez cuts in. He has space. He's looking for Messi, and it breaks down right outside of the circle. Still in Orlando territory. Now a pass to Messi. Messi gets off the ball. It was Luis Otavio who pushed him off the ball. No whistle. Now near side touchline Frey, and it'll be a throw-in for our Inter Miami Herons. Welcome to the 30th minute. 30 minutes played. 2-0 Inter Miami on top of Orlando. This is a free kick. DePaul has it. Now near side touchline Frey, and Inter Miami will recycle to their defense. Here's Yannick Bright. Now Mikael. Far side touchline, Berterame and Segovia. Back to Berterame. Here's Suarez. Inter Miami is beautiful on the ball with their passes right now, as on it is Birdie now. It was a 50-50 ball. Berterame won it. Messi in the box. Leo trying to split the defenders. I think he's still going to get there before the byline. Crosses it in. Suarez shot. And that one almost on target. And almost a goal. And back on it are our Herons. It was a shot by Suarez, and it was intercepted at the final moment. And now we have a corner, I believe a corner, or no, Guido Gonzalez calls for a goal kick. So a goal kick called by Guido Gonzalez. As Rodrigo DePaul wants a corner. I don't think he's going to get one. He set the ball by the corner. But it'll be a goal kick. Maxime Crepeau standing over it. Play is resumed. Messi trying to track Luis Otavio. And Otavio turns it over. Here's Yannick Bright. Bright to Messi. Messi, nifty move. Woes from the crowd. Leo in the box. Pass to Birdie. Looking for Messi again, and it breaks down. Angulo intercepted the final pass that would have led to a Messi goal. Welcome to the 32nd minute. 32 minutes played. Inter Miami up 2-0. Goal scorers, Talasco, Segovia, and Ian Frey. Segovia in the game has an assist and a goal. DePaul, big switch. Luis Suarez. Suarez flags up, offsides. So in the 32nd minute, Suarez had an opportunity to chest that one down and maybe get a shot on target, but it'll stay 2-0 in favor of Inter Miami. But Talasco Segovia, who is back, he missed last game because of card accumulation. And he has a goal and an assist in the fixture. Off of a free kick for Orlando, won by Inter Miami. Here is Talasco Segovia. He gets it to Noah Allen. Allen will get it back to Segovia. Segovia to Suarez, back to Messi. Messi did the move, shot, goal! Lionel Messi with a goal in the 32nd minute. He breaks the 2-goal scoreless streak. A beautiful finesse upper left. Inter Miami is flying in the matchup. Messi continues to terrorize Orlando. It's 3-0, and we haven't even finished the first half. But Lionel Messi, the Messi magic, continuing at New Bank Stadium. This one is gonna get ugly in favor of the good guys. He was so due 2 different times in the first half with opportunities, and Lionel Messi finding the back of the net. 3-0. Messi chants have erupted. Orlando has no answer. They're having a team meeting on the field. It's 3-0. Complete evisceration The party's on at New Bank Stadium. And with 34 and a half minutes played in the half, Orlando, with what seems like to have their tails tucked between their legs, will restart play, looking for any sort of answer. Blow the horn, Fernando. Messi back on it. Inter Miami, dangerous spot again. Near side touchline to Paul, to Suarez. Suarez, Segovia, Telasco with a by shot, blocked! Crapo, diving save near post. Inter Miami battering Orlando. Another corner kick presented by Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. 35 and a half minutes. Ian Frey, Telasco Segovia, Lionel Messi, all on the score sheet. Messi with the goal and an assist. Segovia with a goal and an assist. The party has started in South Beach. And a corner kick. This will be Telasco Segovia putting a right foot boot on a left-sided corner. Far side touchline corner. Played short. Here's the ball. DePaul, shot! Oh my goodness! A catch save by Crapo. Still on it, our Herons. Shot by Suarez, and then almost a goal by Bertarame, who crashed the net. Battering them, all over them. How did that go in? Everything going our Herons' way in the 36th minute. Another corner kick presented by Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com for more information. Absolute scenes in this first half. Inter Miami, who's drawn 3 straight games in this stadium. The first win looks in sight, and it's only the first half. Another opportunity off of the corner, and now I believe we do have a foul. Guido Gonzalez blowing his whistle. And it'll be a goal kick. It was a foul in the box on our Herons on the corner. I'll tell you what, folks, I got some serious forehead sweat going in the 37th minute. It's a hot one, and our Herons are as hot as a stove right now. 3-0. If Jesse Marsh is watching this one, once again, Jesse Marsh, the gaffer for Canada, his 2 goalkeepers are Dane St. Clair and Crapo. Folks, believe it or not, I think Crapo has actually had a decent game. Now I understand why Orlando has conceded so many goals. This is one-way traffic. End-to-end stuff for one team. I was waiting for Orlando to lose it because Inter Miami has had the ball 80% of the time this half, but they still have it near side touchline for Angulo. That one deflected out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in for Orlando. Throwing it in, Adrian Marin. Marin throws it in, immediately won by Inter Miami. On it now is Mikael, and with it now Ojeda. Ojeda makes a turn, shot in a goal. Unbelievable. Wow, a lapse in judgment on that back line. Martin Ojeda, folks, take a bow. That was a hell of a goal. It looked like Mikael and the center backs were going to go right to the goalkeeper. Ojeda ends up with it, and he made a turn. He turned to that left side, left foot boot, and what a strike. 3-1. Did I start the party too soon? I don't think so. Time will tell. But Inter Miami up 3-1. That was the first shot of the night. All right, that was the first shot on target of the night. Ojeda had an opportunity. It went over the bar. But I give him credit there. It looked like that Mikael was just going to give it to St. Clair, And he made a turn right at the circle outside of the box, and that was all she wrote. So 39th minute, 3-1, Inter Miami on top of Orlando. Martin Ojeda, the goal scorer. Ojeda last year, 39 goal contributions for his Orlando side. So, and listen, as we know, we see this team a lot. This is a Florida Derby. Ojeda's a heck of a player. Segovia now has it. Here is Bertarame. Now Messi. Messi cuts in. He gets it to Segovia. Suarez, near side touchline to Frey. Can Frey get there? He does. Ian knocks it off of Angulo. It'll be a throw-in on the near side touchline. All that talk I did. I call it the announcer's curse. The good news is Inter Miami still has a 2-goal cushion in the 40th minute. Honest to God, nothing. There was nothing going for Orlando. And Inter Miami tried retreating to their center backs, and Ojeda made them pay. But good news is Inter Miami on it in Orlando territory. That one rolls out of bounds. That'll be a throw-in for our Herons in the 40th minute. 3-1 Inter Miami on top of Orlando. Ian Frey, Segovia, Messi, the goal scorers for Inter. And the goal scorer for Orlando is Martin Ojeda. Falcone gets it back to St. Clair. Now here's Mikael. Back to St. Clair. Inter Miami playing onto their defense. No press yet by Orlando. Mikael still on it. Now gets it to Bright. Back to Mikael. Mikael now has it near that far side touchline. Centralized back to Bright. Bright will get it to Falcone. Falcone to St. Clair. St. Clair going to play it out of his box. Big left foot boot. And he's looking for Noah Allen. But that one won by Orlando. Good job there by Iago and Janssen. The center backs working together. Angulo has it near side touchline. And that'll be an Orlando throw-in in the 41st minute. Angulo. He actually laid it up to Adrian Marin to throw in. Now the throw is in. Going to ground was Griffin Dorsey, and now we have a foul that's going to go against the league. Orlando is finally, that's Thiago Carvajalo picking up the ball, and that's going to be a free kick for Inter Miami. Here's Mikael now off of the free kick. He gets it to Suarez. Suarez, far side touchline, Noah Allen. 42 and a half minutes played in the first half. 3-1, Inter Miami on top. Allen plays it to Segovia. Back heel, was looking for Suarez. I think if he would have just passed that normally, that probably would have been the better idea. Flag was up anyway, and now Orlando streaking. Dane St. Clair and Mikael not on the same page. St. Clair comes off of his line, but thankfully he was able to get that ball and boot it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. And that did hit an Orlando player. It'll be a throw-in for Inter Miami on that far side. Folks, Mikael and St. Clair, they were not on the same page. St. Clair was deep off of his line. Very deep off of his line. And him and Mikael almost had an oopsie. But Inter Miami now on it. Bertarame, far side touchline with space. He's near the box. Bertarame now in the box. Pass in and deflected out of bounds. That'll be a corner kick presented by Lido Rider Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. Messi will take the left-sided free kick, the left foot in-swinger from the byline. And Leo grabbing a new ball. That's what's taking it in. Messi working his way to the corner. Messi tonight has a goal and an assist. After not scoring the last 2 games. Leo's back at it. Will Messi play this in, or will he go short? Segovia there if he wants to go short. Leo cross in the box, header, and a shot by Suarez, and it goes over the bar. Was that deflected? And it was. It'll be another corner kick presented by Lido Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrad. Representing injured people and their families for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Folks, we're 10 seconds away from allotted extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Inter Miami up 3-0. Crapo was down for about 3 or 4 minutes. I can see this being about 4 minutes of extra time. And believe it or not, we have 6. Corner taken, and DePaul unable to find somebody on the other end, and Gulo recovers. He's streaking towards midfield, and Gulo cuts in, and a nifty interception. Who else but Lionel Messi? Messi tried barreling through, but a big clearance by Orlando. 6 minutes of extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. Folks, Audi is the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF. Once again, Audi, the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF. 6 minutes of extra time. We're going to be going to about 51 here. Messi, cross in, looking for Frey, caught by Crapo. Frey was streaking in. He was on 2. He left his line at a perfect time, playing the ball. And it was a good snag out of the air by Crapo. Inter Miami now in a tough spot, and Gulo cutting in. Falcone is beat. Here's Ellis, pass in, and now it's deflected out of bounds. Good job by Mikael and DePaul tracking back. But 6 minutes of extra time presented by Audi as play is resumed again. Here's Angulo cutting in. And now on it is Rodrigo DePaul near side touchline. DePaul inching closer to midfield. Still with space. Still going is Rodrigo. Rodrigo looking for Segovia, back stick, and it wasn't the pass. He got it wrong. Segovia was open on the back stick, but DePaul got the pass wrong. And welcome to the 47th minute. We're 2 minutes into the allotted 6 as Inter Miami intercepts Orlando. And now on the run is Messi. Messi and Crapo collide, and Crapo able to win that ball, but it was an offsides. Lionel Messi was in an illegal position. But 3-1 your score. Ian Frey, Segovia, and Messi, the goal scorers, and Martin Ojeda, the lone goal scorer for Orlando. Octavio now back to the center back and Robin Janssen. Janssen, left foot, booed, looking deep. Griffin Dorsey is still on it. Dorsey ends up with it, but now he's closed down by Inter Miami defenders. That was almost another lapse of judgment similar to the Martin Ojeda goal, but thankfully our Herons recover, and now DePaul with a nifty move. Can he get past Octavio? And Messi takes Octavio to the ground, and it's going to be a free kick in favor of Orlando. Guillermo Hoyos, gaffer for Inter Miami, was making the case that Messi was the one who got taken to ground. But ultimately, it's going to be a free kick for Orlando. 48 minutes, 3 minutes into the allotted 6. As now a card is shown and a player is down. I believe that is going to go on Maxi Falcone. Him and Guido Gonzalez having a conversation. I'll get clarification in just a moment, folks, but there's a card on the field. I believe it's going to be on our Herons. And I will get back to you guys on that one. 49th minute. St. Clair standing over a free kick. Once again, Robin Janssen was the lone player who got a booking, and now we have another booking. That's going to go against Yannick Bright. I saw that one. I apologize to everyone else. Do not have... Yeah, but Yannick Bright getting a booking here. Keep in mind, Yannick missed the last 2 games because of disciplinary actions, but play is resumed. So Yannick Bright, the guilty party. Janssen and Marin, the 2 players with cards for Orlando, and now Yannick Bright has a card for our Herons. Throw in, far side touchline, a big switch, good pass by Angulo. Angulo on it again, cutting in. He lays it up. Right outside of the box is Marin. Marin cuts in, and our Inter Miami Herons thwart it. They got to get it out now, though. Falcone on the ball. He'll try to boot it away to Bertarame, and Suarez trying to get on the end of it on the near side touchline, and that'll go to Maxime Crepeau, and he'll boot it away. Near side touchline. This is Iago. Iago with a turnover, and now we have a foul. It's going to go against Inter Miami. That'll be a free kick. We're 20 seconds away from the allotted 6 minutes. Presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer, the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF. Angulo cuts in. Now Marin. Marin cross on. In the box now of the Herons is Orlando, and Falcone escorts that ball out of bounds. And that is the half. Inter Miami 3-1, battering Orlando for the first, I would say, 35 minutes. And then a lapse of judgment by the center backs turned into a Martin Ojeda goal. But good news is our Inter Miami Herons up 2 goals at the half. We'll be back with your halftime report coming up next on your Inter Miami Radio Network. 3-1, our Herons.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
Since 2006, EDS Air Conditioning has kept Palm Beach County comfortable through every summer, every storm, and every season in between. EDS Air Conditioning is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. From dial thermostats to today's smart home systems, EDS delivers reliable comfort you can count on. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, they've earned your trust. 20 years of keeping Palm Beach cool. Visit EDSisyes.com today.
Whether you need batteries, tires, or services, we know you depend on your vehicle. You can depend on St. Lucie Battery and Tire. With the largest inventories, expert technicians, and the best price out the door every day guaranteed, you'll drive away with confidence. Life doesn't stop, and neither should your car. St. Lucie Battery and Tire is here for you. Our experts keep your vehicle ready with batteries, tires, and service you can trust. Fast, friendly, and always reliable.
Technology is everywhere, and someone has to keep it all connected. Train for an in-demand career through the Low Voltage Technician Career Certificate at Palm Beach State College. In just 27 weeks by day or 42 weeks at night, you'll gain hands-on training installing security, audio-visual, data, and communication systems for smart homes and businesses. Financial aid is available for those who qualify. Wire your future for success at Palm Beach State College. Visit pbsc.edu and search info to learn more and attend a free hands-on information session.
Come on out to Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium for Star Wars Night on Saturday, May 9th at 6 p.m. Enjoy minor league baseball action between the Jupiter Hammerheads and the Palm Beach Cardinals in a galaxy not far, far away. Come take pictures with your favorite characters, and special Star Wars jerseys will be up for auction right after the game. It's also a Code Ninjas Kids Club Saturday. Visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com to purchase your Star Wars Night tickets today.
May the Force be with you.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Yair Holtzman, partner and leader of Anshin's Research and Development Tax Credits Group.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act restored full expensing of domestic research and development expenditures, allowing businesses to deduct qualifying costs immediately or choose among different tax treatments. Beginning with tax years after December 31st, 2024, special elections for small businesses can be applied retroactively. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help businesses develop a proactive tax plan, identify qualified activities and expenses, and optimize cash flow and tax benefits. If your business is investing in U.S.-based R&D and looking to maximize incentives while remaining compliant with tax law, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Now let's get to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Folks, 3-1, our Inter Miami Herons up at halftime. The goal scorers, Ian Frey, Tlasko Segovia, and Lionel Messi. Let's get right into the highlights and listen to the first goal. This was Tlasko Segovia assisting Ian Frey, backstick header to make things 1-0 in the 4th minute. Here is Segovia. Segovia will cut in. Another pass, header, goal! Goal! What a pass and what a header! Inter Miami in! Beautiful build-up play. Orlando has conceded the most goals in the MLS, and within the first 5 minutes, they have conceded in Miami. So Inter Miami starting things off quick. That was a header by Ian Frey, assisted by Tlasko Segovia. Segovia again on the score sheet in the 25th minute. Messi with space, deep in Orlando territory. Leo veers in, plays it to Suarez. Suarez in the box. Suarez to Messi. Messi shot pass, goal! Tlasko Segovia! So Segovia able to score. I had some confusion. I have to apologize to our listeners. Rodrigo de Paul was arguing with head referee Guido Gonzalez, and Guido was pointing to the midfield mark. I thought he had an offsides hand up. That was on me, but Inter Miami 2-0. Segovia with a goal. Great build-up play, as I've explained. And then, folks, Lionel Messi in the 33rd minute. Segovia to Suarez, back to Messi. Messi did the move, shot, goal! Lionel Messi with a goal in the 32nd minute. He breaks the 2-goal scoreless streak. A beautiful finesse upper left. Inter Miami is flying in the matchup. Messi continues to terrorize Orlando. It's 3-0, and we haven't even finished the first half. So Inter Miami all full sails ahead in that 33rd minute, and then Martin Ojeda nicks a goal in the 39th minute. It was a lapse of judgment by the center backs. Folks, let's take a final halftime timeout. When we return, let's take a halftime timeout. When we return, we'll continue to break down the second half on our Inter Miami radio network.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
Hey, it's Tina. Okay, let's be real. When you need tires or a battery, you want someone you can actually trust, right? That's why I go to St. Lucie Battery and Tire. They've been keeping South Florida moving for over 50 years, and they're still family-owned. They've got all the big tire brands, plus batteries for pretty much everything. Their best price out the door guarantee means you know you're getting the best deal. So next time your car needs something, don't stress. Just go to St. Lucie Battery and Tire, slbt.com. Trust me, they've got you covered.
Power up your future at Palm Beach State College by training in a high-demand field. Our residential and commercial electrician certificate program offers hands-on training from licensed electricians with 40-week daytime or 60-week evening options. Financial aid is available for those who qualify. Get started on the path to a successful career as an electrician at Palm Beach State College. Attend one of our free hands-on info sessions. Visit pbsc.edu and search info. That's pbsc.edu.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Since 2006, EDS Air Conditioning has kept Palm Beach County comfortable through every summer, every storm, and every season in between. EDS Air Conditioning is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. From dial thermostats to today's smart home systems, EDS delivers reliable comfort you can count on. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, they've earned your trust. 20 years of keeping Palm Beach cool. Visit EDSisyes.com today.
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Now let's get to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
All right, folks, 3-1 here at the halftime mark. We went through the goal-scoring highlights. Time to preview what we think is going to happen in the second half. Pending any lapse of judgment by Inter Miami on the defensive side, I think the Herons will be able to take care of it. I could see some substitutions coming on as well for both teams, I think near the 60th and 70th minutes. But I'll keep everybody up to date on who is warming up, who might be coming onto the pitch, and if Inter Miami do make changes at the halfway mark, as well as Orlando. Folks, I got to take one more timeout, but when we return, good news, we're going to be rolling on the pitch in the second half on your Inter Miami radio network.
Since 2006, EDS Air Conditioning has kept Palm Beach County comfortable through every summer, every storm, and every season in between. EDS Air Conditioning is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. From dial thermostats to today's smart home systems, EDS delivers reliable comfort you can count on. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, they've earned your trust. 20 years of keeping Palm Beach cool. Visit EDSisyes.com today.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has stood up for clients and South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Being a homeowner like me means knowing who to call. For power, you called an electrician. Pipes, a plumber. And for better water, you call Culligan. They've been improving water for 90 years, with local experts handling everything from water softening to filtration, using the world's most efficient systems. Culligan, the one partner you can trust for everything your water touches. Schedule your free water test today at Culligan.com, serving all of South Florida.
Hey, Culligan man!
Welcome on back, folks. Second half about to be getting underway. Standing over the ball, Lionel Messi and Herman Berterame. And in the circle, or rather in their team huddle, is Orlando. Orlando down 3-1. Our Herons really battered Orlando for the first 35 minutes of the game. 39th minute, Ojeda finds a goal on a defensive lapse by our Herons, or rather judgment lapse by our Herons. But I'm not worried. I think Inter Miami has been the better team. They've been battering Orlando on the offensive side, and pending a, I would say, catastrophic lapse of defense similar to the first goal, which I don't think is going to happen. Inter Miami will win this one quite handedly. I could even see Inter Miami scoring 2 more goals in this half. Lionel Messi assist and a goal. Segovia with an assist and a goal as well. And Ian Frey, a goal scorer in the fixture too. We're underway, second half. Our Herons and Mikael on the ball. Near side touchline here is Noah Allen. Allen plays it up to Suarez. Suarez goes to ground, and now we have a foul. Head referee Guido Gonzalez blowing his whistle. Going to be a free kick on the near side touchline. Once again, 3-1. Inter Miami trying to get their first win in front of the home fans here in Miami at New Stadium. A couple of cards in the matchup, Janssen and Marin. 2 guys on that Orlando back line, and then the lone Inter Miami Heron with a card. Or rather, Dane St. Clair with the card. And I believe Yannick Bright picked up one. And I will clarify that in a second. Near side touchline, Orlando now has it. They play it up to Griffin Dorsey. And I'm at your mercy. No card for Yannick Bright. It was time wasting. It was time wasting for Dane St. Clair. And then Maxi Falcone got awarded a card right outside of the box before half. So 2 Herons with the card. 3 Lions, Orlando City that is, with cards. So 5 cards total in the game. Both teams still feeling each other out. Welcome to the 46th minute. 3-1 Inter Miami still on top. Orlando now sitting on the ball in Inter Miami territory. Here is Janssen right outside of the midfield circle. Janssen still with it. Now to Angulo. Angulo to Martin Ojeda. Our side touchline now. Cutting in is Angulo. Pass in and a header away by Falcone. And it'll be a throw-in for Inter Miami. We do have 1 substitution for Orlando. It is Tyrese Spicer. So Spicer coming onto the pitch from Trinidad and Tobago. Inter Miami now clearing it away. Berterame trying to track the ball. Him and Brian Ojeda doing battle, and a nifty pass by Suarez to Segovia. Header was won, got it to Suarez. Now Suarez back on it. Here is Messi. Messi passed into Berterame. Berterame back to Leo. Leo and Berterame, two-man, two-ball in the box. Birdie cuts in, shot and deflected. But Inter Miami on it still with Yannick Bright. Now Mikael. Near side touchline, Noah Allen now back to Mikael. Two-man, two-ball. 2, 3, 4, 5. About 4 Herons warming up on the side. Guillermo Hoyos getting his substitutions ready to go. And coming off the pitch, by the way, I mentioned that Spicer coming on for Orlando. Carvajalo, the player coming off. Now St. Clair, he'll boot it out of his box. Both teams feeling each other out, trying to figure things out here. Orlando, though, has been the more ball-dominant team, and they're back on it with Brian Ojeda. Played to Spicer. Spicer gets it to Martin Ojeda. Martin Ojeda to Angulo, far side touchline. Still with it, Angulo, far side touchline. He'll cut in. And a pass into the box. Here's Ellis. Now Angulo with it. Back to Ellis. Guarded by Mikael. Shot and wow, deflected right into Dane St. Clair. So St. Clair able to pick up a wicked deflection that could have easily went into goal. Inter Miami on their heels a bit to start the half. Our Herons, though, back on it. Here's Segovia. Segovia taking on 2 defenders, and he gets a nifty pass to Ian Frey. Segovia back on it. He finds DePaul. DePaul to Suarez. Suarez, far side touchline to Messi. Messi cuts into the box. Messi, pass, shot, and now it's deflected. And cleared by Griffin Dorsey. Nifty link-up play by our Herons. And Messi and DePaul almost had an opportunity on net. It'll be a throw-in on the far side touchline after the Griffin Dorsey clearance. Frey throwing it in. Here's Berterame. Now Frey again, far side touchline. Ian goes to ground, no whistle, and Orlando wins it. Here is Spicer. Far side touchline. Going to ground is Bright. He doesn't win the ball. Spicer still running, and now it looks like it'll be a throw-in. The ball rolled over that far side touchline. Throwing it in is Angulo. And a big turnover for our Herons. Suarez in a dangerous spot now. Here's Messi. Right outside of the box. Leo cutting in. Passes Segovia, and Talasco sends it over the bar. Doesn't put a shot on target. Good pass by Messi. Good run by Segovia, but he got the shot all wrong. And folks, we do have another substitution. Edward Atuseta. So Atuseta subbing on. He will take off Luis Otavio in the 50th minute. Appreciate Julian Salvador, who oversees all of our Inter Miami assets here on ESPN 106.3. We got the whole family in the booth tonight. Once again, Gary Ibar, our on-site producer, Paul Adams, our frequency coordinator, Kate Jumpsman back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. 51 minutes played in the second half, 3-1 Inter Miami leading. Orlando struggling to get out of their own half on the far side touchline. And now a tackle by Yannick Bright. Guido Gonzalez blows his whistle, and we have a foul. And a card. There's the card for Yannick Bright. I guess the announcer's curse. I talked it into existence. So Inter Miami, 3 players with cards. Falcone, St. Clair, and put Yannick Bright in the book. A booking in the 52nd minute. Messi has been dangerous all night. Leo almost had an opportunity early on here in the second half. And now Orlando turns it over, but Guido Gonzalez still going with that whistle. And he does give an Inter Miami free kick, though. Played quickly by DePaul. Here's Leo. Leo in Orlando territory. He finds Segovia. Segovia to the near side touchline, Noah Allen. Allen back to Segovia. Talasco now retreats to Bright. Bright will switch his fields to DePaul. Inter Miami parked in Orlando territory. DePaul cuts in, finds Segovia. Segovia back to Birdie. Here's Messi. Messi in a scrum. Gets it to Bright. Now DePaul. Far side touchline Frey. Now Messi. DePaul right outside of the box. Back stick Allen. Allen in the box. Cross in. Was looking for Suarez. Ball in the air. Can Inter Miami get on it? They do with DePaul. DePaul cuts in. Cross in. Header. Crapo gets there. God, that ball was in the air forever. But Crapo able to grab it. It was a good attempt by Bertarame. And Orlando now has it. Far side touchline, Angulo. Angulo to Brian Ojeda. Brian Ojeda gets it past midfield. Folks, he has space. Near side touchline, Dorsey. Dorsey now in Inter Miami's box, crosses it in. Good header by Falcone, but still on it is Orlando. Near side touchline, Dorsey. Cutting in again. Finds Ojeda, and he lost the ball. Good win of the ball by DePaul. DePaul streaking. He's still going. Passes midfield, and that's where it breaks down. Guido Gonzalez says no foul, play on. DePaul doesn't like it. Orlando, right in midfield, tackled by Petrame, and a foul. Going to be a free kick for Orlando. And now Guillermo Hoyos awarded a yellow card. A booking in the 54th minute, and it's going against the gaffer. So Hoyos with a booking. That's the fourth Inter Miami, I almost said player, fourth Inter Miami member that has had a card. Maxi Falcone, Dane St. Clair, Yannick Bright, now Guillermo Hoyos. Orlando has it right outside of the box. Spicer. Spicer tried crossing that in. Hit it, deflection, whacked off of his face. Now a fight for it, him and Frey. Ian Frey ends up winning it. Yannick Bright on the ball. Big switch to Noah Allen. Inter Miami trying to get it out of their territory. They do with Suarez. Suarez with space. Big switch to Messi. Messi cutting in. Leo with space. In the box, shot deflected. Ball rolling. Can Inter Miami get there? Angulo and Orlando are on it for the time being. The Herons have slapped on a press, and they win the ball. And no, it's going to be a foul. Head referee Guido Gonzalez blowing his whistle. Going to be a free kick for Orlando. Welcome to the 55th minute. Inter Miami up 3-1. Free kick immediately taken and won by Inter Miami. Our Herons, the last, I'd say, 5 minutes. Good job getting on the ball. Messi on the ball. Leo cuts in. Pass in to Suarez. Bertarame now. He tried laying it up. Segovia's shot blocked. Now Noah Allen, near side touchline. And now the ball out of bounds. Griffin Dorsey thwarting it away. But 56 and a half minutes, Inter Miami up 3-1, second half. Your Inter Miami Radio Network. This will be a throw-in for Inter Miami on the near side touchline in Orlando territory. Appreciate everyone who is listening on the radio dial, ESPN 106.3, on Sirius XM, on our YouTube channel at ESPN West Palm, and on the ESPN South Florida app. Throw-in taken. Orlando wins it, and they immediately do a big switch to Spicer. Spicer now is going to switch his own field, and ending up on the ball is Atuesta. Atuesta to Dorsey, right outside of the box. Dorsey back heel to Atuesta. Near side touchline, Atuesta. to Ojeda. This is Brian Ojeda. Brian Ojeda cutting into the box. He's in trouble. Bertarame defending well. And Dorsey back to Ojeda. Here's Dorsey again. Cross in. Nobody home on the back stick. That'll be a goal kick for Dane St. Clair. But Griffin Dorsey, he's been active tonight, as we have another substitution for Orlando. Coming off the pitch is Justin Ellis, who has an assist. He, believe it or not, assisted on that goal for Ojeda. And checking in is McGuire. That's Duncan McGuire for Orlando. Appreciate Tomas in the radio booth. Now we're going to have a free kick. Maxi Falcone standing over it in the box. But McGuire on, Ellis off. McGuire has started 4 matches. He has 1 goal in 4 matches. Orlando, I believe will probably empty the bench to try to get something out of this. They're down 3-1 in the 58th minute. But our Herons, they've looked strong in this second half. First couple of minutes are a little dicey, but now Inter Miami's been dominating. Speaking of, big time cross into the box, and Bertarame unable to foot it down and put an opportunity on. But on that far side touchline, Ian Frey had a nice pass into Birdie, and Bertarame couldn't foot it down and put a shot on target. Robin Janssen gets a free kick immediately from Crapo. He's right outside of his own box. Now he's going deep. He's looking for McGuire, and McGuire unable to get that deep pass. Dane St. Clair gets it to Falcone. Falcone to DePaul. DePaul now to Yannick Bright. Now to Mikael, near side touchline. Mikael gets it to Noah Allen. Allen goes to the ground, but on it is Suarez. Luis is in the box. He tried crossing it in, and it was a clever defensive move by Orlando. Inter Miami trying to press and get back on the ball. Atuesta has it. He's thrown to ground by Noah Allen. Is that going to be a card? And it's no card, but it'll be a free kick for Orlando. A lot of bookings in this fixture. Adrian Martin, Robin Janssen, the 2 bookings for Orlando, and Inter Miami's got 4. Falcone, St. Clair, Bright, and the gaffer, Guillermo Hoyos. Near side touchline, big switch by Orlando. Dangerous spot, Griffin Dorsey outside of the box. He's looking back stick. Thank goodness Ian Frey is home, but Frey unable to chest it down, and it'll be a corner kick for Orlando. Folks, all corner kicks are presented by Lido Rider Smith, Ivy, and Fronrad, representing injured people and their families for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. Welcome to the 61st minute. Inter Miami up 3-1. Got a corner opportunity for Orlando. Brian Ojeda will take the corner. Or excuse me, Martin. Got my Ojedas mixed up. Martin Ojeda will take the corner. Left foot in swinger from the left side. Here it comes. Brian Ojeda gets on the end of it, and that one flies over the crossbar. Going to be a goal kick. Once again, if you're just joining us, appreciate wherever you're listening, Sirius XM, ESPN 106.3 on the FM, the South Florida app, or on our YouTube channel at ESPN West Palm FC. Appreciate everyone in that YouTube chat, Janet Killiman, all my people who listen to us and support us. We appreciate you. Once again, ESPN West Palm FC on YouTube. Give us a subscription, give us a follow, and turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything Inter Miami related. Here's Segovia now, right off of the bat and the kick. He gets it to Yannick Bright. Bright will switch his fields to the far side touchline. This is Lionel Messi. Messi in Orlando territory. He stops, gets it to DePaul. DePaul now to Yannick Bright. Near side touchline, here's Noah Allen. Bright Falcone right at the midfield circle. DePaul. DePaul cuts in with space. Good run by Rodrigo. He finds Birdie. Birdie still in the box fighting for it, but he's unable to get it. Orlando on it with Martin Ojeda. Turnover. Inter Miami on it. Sloppy couple of possessions for both sides. But our Herons are on it. Suarez looking for Messi. Messi taking the ground, and you hear the crowd. No whistle, though. Good clean tackle, if I'm being honest. Messi, though. Nice pass. He gets it back. Leo almost had a pocket to do something, and he gets thwarted at the last second. Martin Ojeda on the ball. He gets it to Spicer, and a nifty defensive foxy move by Falcone. And ball won by DePaul. Nice turn by Rodrigo. Rodrigo has space. He's in the box looking for Suarez. Won by Angulo. So Inter Miami been threatening here in the last 2 minutes. Welcome to the 63rd minute. Inter Miami up 3-1. Guillermo Hoyos going to his bench. I'll get you a number in a second. Spicer on the attack, crosses it in, headed away by Mikael. Facundo Mora will be checking into the game. I'm assuming he will be taking off either Ian Frey or one of the fullbacks, Noah Allen. Once again, appreciate Tomas in our radio booth, our spotter tonight. And now we have a player down, cramping issue. As we'll keep this in mind for extra time. But 64th minute, 3-1, Inter Miami on top of Orlando. Your goal scorers, Ian Frey, Telasco Segovia, and Lionel Messi. Messi and Segovia also have an assist on the game, so 2 guys on a goal and an assist. But Mora will be checking in for gaffer Guillermo Hoyos. And I'm sorry, folks, I don't have a number for the player down. It is a Heron, but it is cramps. I can see them stretching it out. And I think that's Ian Frey, and it is Ian Frey. But Mora on and Frey off. Mora on, Frey off. Frey was the one who was dealing with cramps, and they take him out where he was down by the byline. But the Argentinian, Facundo Mora, getting an opportunity in the 65th minute. Lionel Messi, by the way, 9 goals in 6 matches against Orlando. He had 8 goals in 5. Leo scored tonight, make that 9 and 6. He also has 4 braces. If Leo scores another, folks, if Lionel Messi scores another goal, that'll be his 5th brace against Orlando in 6 games. So if Leo gets in again, that'll be 5 goals in 6 games as Noah Allen immediately turns it over. Atuesta was chasing it, but a good job there by Bright and Mikael to clean it up. Here's DePaul. Orlando has slapped on a pretty deafening press here, but Inter Miami springs the trap with Lionel Messi. Far side touchline. Leo cuts in. Messi still on the run. A lot of momentum. And now Robin Janssen breaks it down in the box. On it is Angulo. Angulo. Get it up to Duncan McGuire. Now near side touchline, Griffin Dorsey. Guarded by Segovia. Back to McGuire. Here is Brian Ojeda. Brian Ojeda with space. DePaul closes him down, but he gets it to Martin Ojeda. Martin Ojeda to 2-man 2-ball between the Ojedas, folks. Brian on it. He gets it to Spicer. Spicer still on it. Ball won by Inter Miami. Here's Bertarame. Birdie with a burst of speed. He finds Messi. Messi, acres of space. Here comes the crowd. Leo cuts into the box. And good golly, he just fumbled it. He fumbled it at the last moment, folks. That's the best way I can put it. Usually that ball's on a yo-yo, but he took a bad touch right when it looked like he was about to shoot, and now Orlando's on it. And Martin Ojeda is streaking. Is he offsides? No, he's on. He's cutting in. Here's Martin Ojeda. Lays it up to Angulo. Angulo back to Ojeda, and a good job by Mikael thwarting it. McGuire on it, though. McGuire cutting into the box. Still on a run. Martin Ojeda shot at a goal. Unbelievable. Again, Martin Ojeda with the brace in the 67th minute. Bad lapse of judgment by Inter Miami. Unbelievable. A brace. A brace for Martin Ojeda. We have a ball game, 3-2 in the 68th minute. Again, a lapse of judgment there. Inter Miami did a great job defending the initial attack. And then Duncan McGuire ended up with it, and no one stopped the ball. Went to Angulo. And then Ojeda. A brace for Ojeda. Play resumed. Folks, appreciate Toto again. We got Tadio Allende checking on to the pitch in just a moment. Excuse me. Subbing onto the pitch in just a moment. But, folks, 69th minute, 3-2. Inter Miami was up 3-0 in the game. Did I count my chickens before they hatched? Near side touchline. Our Herons trying to cross it in. That was Herman Berterame. And Birdie will take a corner. Or rather, Inter Miami will take a corner. And every corner on our Inter Miami radio network is presented by Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. But once again, if you're just joining us, Inter Miami was up 3-0. Folks, it's 3-2. Corner opportunity. And folks, we need the momentum. Our Herons need the momentum back. Segovia, right foot, played short. Here's DePaul. DePaul's shot deflected. Back to Segovia. Played to Noah Allen. Allen cross in. Nobody home. And look out. Here's Angulo on the counter. He's fast, folks. He's got space. He cuts in, gets it to Martin Ojeda. Ojeda goes to the ground, and we're going to have a foul. Going to be a free kick for Orlando. I'm biased. Looked pretty clean. Orlando was begging for a card. But Ojeda is going to be standing over a free kick. Going to be too deep to go for goal. But it's right between the midfield circle and the box circle. Right outside of the box circle. So Luis Suarez checking out. And coming onto the pitch is Allende. Can Inter Miami see this through? Once again, this is your Inter Miami Radio Network. Mike Rizzo here, voice of the Herons. Next to me, Gary Ibar, our on-site producer. Paul Adams, our frequency coordinator. And my guy Tomas, my lead spotter tonight, Toto. We're trying to hang on. Free kick play, back stick, header, trouble, and now thwarted away by Mura. But was there an offsides? And yes, an Orlando player was in an illegal position. Going to be a goal kick for St. Clair in the 71st minute. St. Clair takes it and gets it to Mikael. St. Clair back with it in the box. Near side touchline, Allen. Our Herons got to get some momentum back here, and maybe they can do it with a streaking Allende. Allende cutting into the box. Couple of nice moves by Taddeo. Cross in. Bertarame on it. Can he turn? And can Messi get on it? And the answer is no. So Bertarame struggled to get that final turn on the net. It looked like Messi could get on it, but it turns into nothing. Atuesta now in a dangerous spot. Still on the run. Atuesta lays it up to Ojeda. What a save! Dane St. Clair with his best save of the year. Unbelievable. He was 1-on-1 with Ojeda. Orlando back on it. Dorsey in the box. McGuire. And is that going to be a goal kick? And it is going to be a goal kick. My golly! Ojeda was 1-on-1 with St. Clair. St. Clair picked a great moment to come off of his line in the box, and he closed him down. It was almost a hat trick for Martin Ojeda. Our Herons hanging on in the 73rd minute. They were up 3-0. This one looked over. Done. Finito. And now we're trying to grab some momentum back. Ball played. St. Clair arguably saving the game with that save. Rather than 3 points. Here's Bright to DePaul. Now Falcone. Can Inter Miami grab the momentum back by its jaws? Here's Mora to DePaul. Rodrigo to Telasco. Segovia cutting in. Right foot. Pass to Messi. Leo. Nifty move. Wicked turn. Bertarame goes to ground. No whistle. Counters on. Duncan McGuire. Can Mikael get there? McGuire's still on it. Shot blocked. Unbelievable end-to-end stuff. My goodness. It looked like Messi was turning on the net. The next thing you know, McGuire's streaking with an opportunity. Mikael couldn't stop him. Shot on target. And a corner. Presented by Lido Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Representing injured people and their families for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. Hang on, 75th minute, 3-2. Corner for Orlando. Whistle. And now head referee Guido Gonzalez blows his whistle because Falcone's on the ground. Taking the corner is Martin Ojeda. Atuesta is the short option. Ojeda, big left foot in swinger, header! Is that a penalty? What do they call? Guido Gonzalez blew his whistle in the box. I'm waiting, folks. 76th minute. Guido Gonzalez blew his whistle. Martin Ojeda standing there with the ball. Was it a handball? Was it a foul? I'm waiting. I think VAR is checking things. But Guido Gonzalez blew his whistle, and I think it's going to be a foul on Maxi Falcone. He pushed him in the back. My goodness, it's going to be a penalty kick in the 76th minute. I think VAR is still checking on it. It's not official. But if this stands, this could be a tie ball game. Guido Gonzalez still conferring I don't think this is going to change, and a yellow card has just been awarded to Lionel Messi. And we're seeing the replay. Falcone pushed Iago in the back. It was a bang-bang play. I don't know if that's worth the penalty, but Guido Gonzalez blew his whistle, and it's going to be a penalty kick, and Martin Ojeda is standing over it for a hat trick. Can Date St. Clair go huge? They need the Canadian here. St. Clair, who wants to start in the World Cup, can he make a worldie? Ojeda approaches shot, goal. Tie ball game, 3-3. Oh man, I put the Maloik on it. I called it over, 3-0. Unbelievable. Inter Miami was up 3-0, folks. It's 3-3. 78th minute. Orlando, who is 14th on the table. They're 2 points from the cellar. They've scored 3 unanswered goals, all by Ojeda. Here's the good news. 11 minutes until extra time. Inter Miami's gonna have some time to find a winner. Bertarame to Segovia. Segovia near Orlando's box. He cuts in. Velasco back stick. The pull shot. Oh my goodness! Bertarame missed it! It was a sitter and he missed it! No! Oh, he got it all wrong! Oh my goodness! Great pass by DePaul. Bertarame, it was a sitter! No! Still 3-3, 80th minute. Unbelievable! Right in front of net, folks. He could have walked it in. Gotta regroup, regain, lock in. Goal kick taken. And Inter Miami now playing ping pong in the air with Orlando. Allen finds Bertarame. Bertie gets it to the pole and a bad turnover. Spicer to Ojeda! And a save! Still on it is Spicer, and now he sends it to the 20th row. Oh my goodness! This game is turned on its head. Now Date St. Clair is down. 80th minute, 3-3. I gotta regain. What in the world is going on your Inter Miami radio network? It was 3-0. We were flying. Date St. Clair saved the game for a second time. He had a big save at 3-2, and then at 3-3, he saved Ojeda again. Ojeda was one-on-one. St. Clair still being looked at by physios. Folks, it's 90 degrees here. If my forehead had a shirt, I'd be through 4 different shirts. I have some serious forehead sweat going. But wow, this has been a heck of a game. I mean, it was 3-0. 35th minute, it's 3-3. And Ojeda almost bagged another goal to make it 4. He scored all 3 already. That would have been his 4th. Play resumed. Janet in the YouTube chat says, need Messi magic. Yeah, we need the great one. Can we get a goal from the great one on your Inter Miami Radio Network? 82nd minute, 3-3. Far side touchline, on it is Mora. 82 and a half minutes. A couple moments and minutes away from extra time, presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Mikael turns it over. But back on it, Noah Allen. Segovia cutting in. He veers it to Mora. Big switch. Here's Messi, far side touchline. Back to DePaul. With it is Mora. Inter Miami probing. And a diving tackle, saving a possible opportunity, was Spicer. 3-3, 83rd minute. Allen. Mikael. DePaul. Inter Miami taking their time, trying to find the right time to strike. Allen. Back to Falcone. Inter Miami now across the timeline in midfield. This is DePaul. Messi. Leo. Cuts in. Gets it to Segovia. Dangerous spot. Telasco needs something. Back to Messi. Now Bright. DePaul. Allende. Still probing. Right outside of Orlando's box. Pass after pass after pass. Here's Segovia. Berterame back to Segovia. Nobody home. Bad turnover. Look out. McGuire near side touchline. Acres of space. He goes back post. Ojeda thankfully couldn't get there. 84th minute. 3-3. Orlando right outside of Inter's box. Etuesta. Shot deflected, and St. Clair able to recover. St. Clair plays it quickly to Segovia. Telasco running with it. Acres of space. Finds Leo. Here's Messi. Segovia and Griffin Dorsey fighting at midfield. Messi still on it. Birdie back to Leo. Leo turned it over. Broke down right before he got into the box. Here's McGuire. Back to Griffin. Griffin Dorsey now on the ground, and a foul. Guido Gonzalez blowing his whistle. And now, standing over it on the free kick is the center back, Iago. Turnover. Can Inter Miami see fruit off this? And a tackle by Janssen. And I believe it was the offside anyway. Flag was up. Messi was streaking to the ball. Janssen with a questionable slide tackle. But Leo was offsides. And it'll be a free kick. Maxime Crepeau gonna take it. 86th minute, folks. 86th minute, 3-3. Martin Ojeda with a hat trick. Ian Frey, Segovia, and Messi, the scorers for Inter. Segovia and Messi both have goals and assists. It was 3-0 in the 35th minute, 3-1 at halftime. It's now 3-1. Mora deflected, I believe, off a Spicer. That'll be an Inter Miami throw. Now we're going to have another substitution for Orlando. Coming onto the pitch is going to be Bracalo, longtime player for Orlando. Bracalo will take off Adrian Marin. So a fullback exchange here in the 87th minute. Allen, near side touchline, finds Segovia. Can Inter Miami find some messy magic at the end of this game? Segovia to Bright. Bright, far side touchline, Messi. Leo with a lot of space on that far side touchline, deep into Orlando territory, inching closer to the box. Now he lays it up to Mora. Mora services it in. Bertarame goes to ground, no foul. Falcone ends up with it right at midfield. Inter Miami back on it. 87-50, 87-51. Folks, we're 2 minutes from extra time, presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Near side touchline, Allen. Now Bright. Everyone up for Inter Miami. Falcone, right outside of the midfield circle. Bright to DePaul. DePaul right outside of the box. Gets it to Messi. Messi cuts in, and he gets thwarted away, but Leo back on the ball. Now Bright has it. Bright shot, and it's nowhere near the net. Messi wanted a free kick, but we're not going to get one. It's going to be a goal kick for Inter Miami. 88 and a half minutes. We're 1.5 minutes away from extra time. 3-3, Inter Miami deadlocked with Orlando. Maxime Crepeau takes the free kick. And Orlando on it on the far side touchline. Inter Miami slaps on a press. Here's DePaul. Now Griffin Dorsey, near side touchline. McGuire to Atuesta. Back to McGuire, wasn't ready for it. Going to be a throw-in. Inter Miami's got to go, folks. 89-10, 89-11. We're under 40 seconds from extra time. Presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. AudiUSA.com to learn more. Segovia. Mikael. Messy chance have erupted. Once again, if you're just joining us, it was 3-0 Inter Miami. This game is 3-3. We're waiting to hear on extra time. 20 seconds away. Messi cuts in. Leo, another turnover. On it is Martin Ojeda, deep in Inter Miami territory. Here is Brian Ojeda, back to Martin. Martin, shot, blocked. Inter Miami needs to get on it, and Duncan McGuire would have been offsides. So that's going to be a goal kick. All right. 8 minutes. 8 minutes of extra time. Presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. AudiUSA.com to learn more. Folks, the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF. Folks, 8 minutes. Inter Miami's going to have some opportunities here at the end of this game. It's good news. Good news. Got to get back on the ball. Robin Janssen on it. Here's Atuesta. He gets taken to ground. Foul. Guido Gonzalez blowing his whistle. Going to be a free kick. Standing over the free kick is Atuesta. He's been very active, Atuesta, in the second half since he subbed on. 91, folks, 7 minutes away from final whistle. Orlando, who is 14th on the table, they have 7 points on the year, is deadlocked with our Herons at home. Atuesta cross in, back stick, header, and cleared away by the Inter Miami line. But back on it is Orlando. Bracalo will play it back to Crepeau, the goalkeeper. Crepeau, big right foot boot, and that one gonna roll out of bounds on the near side touchline. Noah Allen will throw it in. 3-3. Ojeda with a hat trick for Orlando. Ian Frey, Segovia, and Messi, the scorers. Falcone to Bright. Now Mikael. Near side touchline, Noah Allen. Allende trying to create some space, and Atuesta picks that off. McGuire to Brian Ojeda. And on a run is Spicer. Spicer with space shot. Oh my goodness, a goal! A goal! Spicer on the run scores the goal, 4-3. Orlando! 4 unanswered goals. Unbelievable. Inter Miami is down in the 92nd minute. 4-3 in the Florida Derby. Orlando is 14th on the table. Folks, they have 7 points on the year. And they have scored 4 unanswered. They were dead in the ground, buried at 3-0. It's now 4-3. Tyrese Spicer from Trinidad and Tobago. St. Clair, to be fair, had 2 unbelievable saves. He came out, and folks, he couldn't get that one. I don't put that on St. Clair. That was a heck of a pass by the Orlando midfield. Coming off of the pitch is the man with the hat trick, Martin Ojeda. And coming onto the pitch is number 19, Zakari Tafi. Appreciate Tomas, our spotter tonight on our Inter Miami radio network. Folks, Inter Miami is down 4-3. They were up 3-0 in the 35th minute. And we're gonna have a free kick right outside of the box. Bertarame got shoved in the back. And folks, when I mean right outside of the box, we're decimal points away from that being a penalty. But Messi gonna have an opportunity here right outside of the box. Awkward angle for his left foot, but he's certainly gonna put an effort on. 94-40, 94-41. Folks, just a little under 3:30 to play in the ball game. 8 minutes of extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Orlando has scored 4 unanswered goals. It is 4-3. I hate to keep bringing it up. Hopefully Leo could put this in the back of the net, as we have arguments about the Orlando wall. They don't like the wall. Shot, and just over the crossbar. So Messi, a whisker over the crossbar. And it's going to be a goal kick. 95-30, 95-31. We're just a little under 2:20 from final whistle, and Inter Miami found themselves down 4-3. Crapo will take his time on the goal kick, and I even think he's, yeah, we have a card for time wasting. Maxime Crapo. 96 minutes, folks. We're 2 minutes from final whistle. Our Herons down 4-3. Crapo boots it away, headed by Bertarame. Still in the air. Now on it is Noah Allen. Allen and McGuire block feet, and it went off of Noah Allen. It'll be a throw-in on the near side touchline. Orlando obviously taking their time. They will time waste at this point. On it is Duncan Robinson, back heel pass. Falcone in the box, St. Clair grabs it. 96-40, 96-41. Inter Miami down 4-3. Can they get a goal and get 1 point from the matchup? DePaul to Bright. Segovia. Messi. Far side touchline. Cuts in. Bright. Allende, right outside of the box. deflected pass. Bright's on it. 97-12, folks. Under 50 seconds from final whistle. This could be the final chance for the Herons. 97-21. DePaul, cross, and caught by Crapo. On the back stick, tracking it, were a plethora of Herons, Bertarame and Allende. And folks, 97-39, 97-40, 41. Can Inter Miami get one last go at it? 15 seconds, throw in, near side touchline, Bright on it. All right, this is gonna be the last opportunity. DePaul to Mora. Mora to DePaul, near side touchline, outside of the box. And Rodrigo wins a corner, presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy in front of it. No! Is it a throw-in? Or it is a corner, presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy in front of it. Visit ForYourRights.com. They were waiting for a ball. Brother, throw the ball! Let's go! We got a game to tie. Messi, outside of the box. Pass in by DePaul, deflected. And Angulo has it. He's sprinting to the byline. No whistle yet. 98-36, 98-38, 30. Yeah, you get it. Far side touchline. Going to be a throw-in for Inter Miami. Guido Gonzalez still hasn't blown his whistle. Can Inter Miami maybe get one more chance? Here's Allen. He can't go backwards. He can't go backwards. Plays it up to Bright. They're going to give him one more chance. Here's Allende. Last chance of the game. Mora. And ball in the air. Mora still tracking in the box. Birdie goes down. No penalty. No penalty. Bertarame went down in the box. No penalty. But I think Guido Gonzalez, he stopped play. And that's the whistle. That's it. That's the game. That's the game. Folks, Inter Miami was up 3-0. Our Herons, who we love so much, our beloved team, was up 3-0 in the Florida Derby. And they lose 4-3 on our Inter Miami radio network. Postgame coming up next.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Andrew Cohen, Senior Manager in Anshin State and Local Tax Group.
In today's mobile world, residency is one of the most important areas of state taxation. The rules determine which states can tax your income and hinge on two key concepts: domicile and statutory residency. Your domicile is the state you consider your permanent home, while statutory residency can apply if you have a permanent place of abode in a state which you spent more than 183 days. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help taxpayers avoid double taxation. If you're a taxpayer with ties in multiple states, looking to reduce your state tax exposure, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Come on out to Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium for Star Wars Night on Saturday, May 9th at 6 p.m. Enjoy minor league baseball action between the Jupiter Hammerheads and the Palm Beach Cardinals in a galaxy not far, far away. Come take pictures with your favorite characters, and special Star Wars jerseys will be up for auction right after the game. It's also a Code Ninjas Kids Club Saturday. Visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com to purchase your Star Wars Night tickets today.
May the Force be with you.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Whether you need batteries, tires, or services, we know you depend on your vehicle. You can depend on St. Lucie Battery and Tire. With the largest inventories, expert technicians, and a best price out the door every day guaranteed, you'll drive away with confidence. Life doesn't stop, and neither should your car. St. Lucie Battery and Tire is here for you. Our experts keep your vehicle ready with batteries, tires, and service you can trust. Fast, friendly, and always reliable.
Ugh, water spots on the shower door again.
He sprayed, he scrubbed, he squeegeed.
What? Is that a word?
He's tried pretending not to see it.
Didn't work.
Now he wants answers.
I'm calling Culligan. They'll test my water for free and recommend a solution to fix hard water throughout the whole house.
Because some battles shouldn't be fought alone.
Schedule your free water test today at Culligan.com, serving all of South Florida.
Hey, Culligan man!
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami Postgame Show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Final score 4-3 on your Inter Miami Radio Network. Our Herons were up 3-0 in the game. They took a 3-1 lead into halftime, and we're on the wrong end of the game to end it. This is a rivalry game. We know this game means a lot to Lionel Messi and all the great players we have on our roster, and this one's going to sting for a little bit. This will sting for a little bit, but good news is Inter Miami's still in a great spot on that Eastern Conference table. They're positioning themselves great for playoffs. They had an 11-game unbeaten streak in all competitions, a 9-game unbeaten streak within the MLS. I know it's hard to, have the glass half full right now, but I guess I'll be that guy. I know this one hurts. I know this stings. I know 4 unanswered goals is hard, but Inter Miami's it's a fantastic team. We're doing all the right things on that MLS table, and this is just one of those games that got away from you. It's one of the games that got away from you, and you come back next Saturday, next weekend, and you take it from there. But 4-3, the final score. Cade Chumsland, our producer, back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Cade, you got the last 3 goals of the game for Orlando, which was a 4-3 score. Let's take a listen to all of them. Let's listen to 3-2. Martin Ojeda with a brace. McGuire on it, though. McGuire cutting into the box, still on a run. Martin Ojeda shot at a goal! Unbelievable! Again! Martin Ojeda with the brace in the 67th minute. Next, the tie ball game, 3-3, the penalty kick for Orlando. St. Clair, who wants the start of the World Cup, can he make a worldie? Ojeda approaches shot, goal! 4-3. McGuire to Brian Ojeda, and on a run is Spicer. Spicer with space, shot! Oh my goodness, a goal! A goal! Spicer on the run scores the goal. 4-3. Orlando. 4 unanswered goals. So that'll end things here on your Inter Miami Radio Network. 4-3 Orlando defeating our Herons. The next time we will talk to you on your Inter Miami Radio Network will be coming up next weekend. Inter Miami will look to get back on track after losing the Florida Derby here at New Stadium. They will be at Toronto. That is a May 9th kick. That'll be a 1 p.m. kickoff. Inter Miami, by the way, who is 5-0 in their last 5 away games. So Inter Miami will open up an away stretch. We'll be at Toronto and at Cincinnati for the next 2 weeks. But your final score from New Stadium, 4-3, Orlando coming back from 3 goals down to defeat our Herons. A lot of thank yous here. I want to thank our on-site producer, Gary Ibar. Appreciate Gary keeping me up over the airwaves at the stadium. Want to thank Paul Adams, our frequency coordinator. Also, Santi Rodriguez, who helped with the product. And back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach is my guy, Kate Chumslin, making sure we're over the air at the ranch, getting all our highlights, and doing such a great job on our YouTube stream. Final score, 4-3. We'll catch up with you in Toronto on your Inter Miami Radio Network.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Picture this. A curve in the road. A change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath.